Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Kindred Lists right here at Proficiency Bonus. My name is Michael, your most humble and merciful Dungeon Master for the evening. We are so glad that you decided to tune in to our wonderful Dungeons & Dragons show this Friday evening. I hope you're all doing well, and we are excited to be with you tonight. We have a few quick shout-outs that we want to start off with tonight. We want to thank Twitch and Streamlabs OBS for allowing us to be affiliated with them and allow us to bring this wonderful streaming content right into your home this evening. We also want to thank our good friends at Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games for all their support. If you type in !Little Dragon in the chat, you will get a quick link to their website and storefront. And I do want to make a disclaimer right now that the coupon code that you see is currently broken, and I am in the process of getting that fixed. So check their Twitter, check their Facebook page, see if they have any deals posted, because they usually do have some kind of sales or deals posted where you can use another coupon code and get some discounts off of your orders. If you type in !CCG in the chat, you'll get a quick link to Cardboard Castle Games website where you can purchase some really cool stuff like Magic the Gathering and Pokemon. So make sure you go check them out. Oh man, I tell you what, these ad reads at the beginning of these sessions are starting to get pretty entertaining now. We've got...
Sure.
Ooh, look at all the fancy cards going up. See, I can't show any of my fancy cards because I don't have any really good fancy cards. So,
you know, no, it's still going to remain blurry.
Somebody in chat's probably like, "Hey, wait, I need that card. I'll trade you." Awesome. Well, thank you guys for showing off your wonderful collections. Yes, go stop by Cardboard Castle Games, support them, buy some games, check out Little Dragon Corp, buy some cool dice. They got some really cool stuff, and they're awesome. Just awesome people. So make sure you check them out. Thank you guys. So, quick recap. Last time, our group spent a little bit of time in Silvery Moon, waiting on some armor to be constructed and enchanted by Silver's father. You guys went searching for a thief who happened to steal some of Ashland's coinage and a magic item. Tried to make off with some things. Ashland decided to go find that thief last time with the help of Callista in her wind air elemental form. You guys easily tracked down the attempted escape of this halfling with this merchandise. Brought him back, and you guys also discovered that the Harpers had a keen eye on your movements during the time that you were staying there. You guys had a brief conversation with them and kind of got the idea that while you guys were in the city, they weren't going to do anything drastic, but they were definitely keeping an eye on what you guys were up to. And there was a little bit of a tension between the two of you. And after that, really after that tension, you guys made your way outside of the city and made your way back to the Dumpster Fire Ranch. Is there anything else that I needed to throw in there that you think would be important on this brief recap? Or I think it was going to be a week before your armor was completely finished. So you guys... I think
we had, what, 7 days left?
7 days,
8 days?
Yeah. Probably been more like 8. I think you were only there for 2 days. This is kind of like the evening of the second day as you guys are headed out. So we're going to pick up right where we left off. You guys teleporting and bamfing back into the bedroom of Callista at the foot of the Worm Skull throne via the scepter that's connected to it. So you guys land in the room, and so the story is told. The adventure is yours. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I'm probably going to clean up my room because we've been bamfing in and out of here a lot.
Sometimes bloodier than others.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to just like, and Lachlan pieced out, so he can't help me with prestidigitation. So I think I'm gonna spend the afternoon like stress cleaning.
Okay.
I can help you.
Lovely, let's do that.
I will also help by stealing her candles.
I will smack your hand every time you touch one of my candles.
It's clutter.
Just
But you have so many!
just for kicks, roll a sleight of hand check, Vix.
Oh, please.
Yeah, good luck.
Please.
This is against her passive perception.
Oh, you're gonna fail.
Can anyone
Really
roll,
good.
Can anyone roll that high?
I'm just
Really good.
I'm just seeing.
What'd you roll?
8.
I feel like unless it's a nut.
I'm like 30 above that. 38 is the passive, so
I rolled a 2.
honey. Well,
A rogue
tried.
would have to nat 20 to beat Callista.
Not if they're lucky.
Yeah.
Even that.
Yeah.
Plus 18. It's gonna be slim.
or it's a 33 if it's without the advantage.
Vix is kind of
So you
like,
must-
as you're trying to put candles into your bag, Callista doesn't even turn around to look at you. Her hand just comes around and smacks it out of your hand. And then continues cleaning. Without even
Alright,
looking
so
at you.
What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna wait till I think she's not watching. I'm gonna take one of Molfin's I'm assuming they're little white candles. And I'm gonna try to replace one of her prettier candles with my little white candle.
I don't want Molfin's candles in here. Get that shit out of here.
Because I have about 100
Molfin
Molfin candles.
Mine are all natural drurid candles.
You
I
have
don't want this.
100 Molfin candles.
Yeah, he
Didn't
left
I
his
help you
room and
steal those?
Yeah, he stole a bunch of Molfin's candles. Okay, go ahead and make one more sleight of hand check. Just for kicks. Just to see
Yeah.
if you can pull this off.
We'll see.
Natural 20 for a 26.
I still don't think that's high enough.
Dang.
33 is my lowest passive.
Yeah.
So it is literally impossible to get anything by Callista.
Dang it!
I see everything, Vix.
Everything?
Everything. And if you want a druid candle, you ask, you don't take.
I was trading!
I don't want the arcane wizard candles in my room.
Don't say that too loud.
Personally, I would like one, to be honest. Proud,
There you
like.
go.
Oh, thank you. He looks over at one of Callista's druid candles and. Can I borrow this?
Fine.
And then he hands it to Vix.
Thank you.
Yes. And just,
Woo!
and just
I'm
kinda
leaving.
smiles at Vix and then winks at you, Callista.
I leave the room immediately before she can say anything to me.
Come on, what's one
You
candle?
win.
What's one candle gonna
You
hurt
win
him?
this time.
What's one
Yeah.
candle gonna hurt him? You know.
He's just gotta learn to stop taking and like ask for what he wants instead of just taking it.
I see your point. I do. But you really think he's gonna pick it up? Like,
If I
Well,
smack
couldn't
him hard enough,
eventually.
maybe.
Mm.
Yeah, Molfin's learning slowly.
I said Lachlan.
People, hey, before I met you, Dad, no one would tell me their plans and they would just go off and do things without asking. Now that they're learning, they're actually informing me and asking me for my opinion on plans. Even if I don't agree with them, at least I know what's happening.
that's a good point. That is a good point.
So
Yes.
they're learning. They're just slow.
I feel like I
That's
was
better.
always one of the good ones.
Oh, Diana, you've had your moments. You've partaken. When you get wrapped up in their revelry, you get swept along for the ride, and it's not your fault.
I'm very influenceable. That's why
I
go
know
to
you are.
church.
I know you are. We dealt with this as Zulkin.
Raud eventually leaves with the Molfin candle. Looks like he's, pocketed the Molfin candle and he's keeping it himself.
Now Molfin is making a plan to go into Waterdeep because now he has to go shopping for candles.
Damn it.
Molfin is downstairs in his workshop, And he's just
It's
like, it's empty of candles. Like, he has no idea where any of them went.
I didn't think I was going
I feel like
senile
he would
yet.
have some idea.
Yeah, probably does, but remembering the viciousness of Silver's last response to confrontation with Vix, and given the amount of money we have, Molfin's just going to go shopping.
Given the amount of money we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you're ever going to have a issue purchasing some candles, Molfin. So Molfin's going to take a trip into Waterdeep to buy some candles. We don't.
I will probably
It would
go
just take
with
you
him.
time. We wouldn't have to roleplay it all
Yeah.
out, but it would just take you.
I don't
want to
role play it either, but I would definitely go get make sure the construction for his new place is going to be starting soon.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you guys could take care of that in the late evening here. And
I just now realized. Sorry.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say at some point during the week I have to go to my temple.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here or in Daggerford?
Here.
Oh, you want to go to the main one? Gotcha.
Yeah, at some point
Okay.
I need to go talk to those people. Probably before the week is over. I
Can I get
remembered
more?
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Vix, Silver, you guys are just going to, well, now Callista has decided that she's going to go with Molfin. So are you guys going to continue?
Yeah,
to
I
clean
guess
her
I'm-
room, or...
I guess I'm just cleaning her room by myself.
Well, I would have helped, but eventually would have gone.
Okay.
Before I go, either I go after Molfin or with Molfin, doesn't matter. I will ask them if they want me to build them a place here too. Have your own room, have your own space, have your own privacy. A safe place to come to. You don't have to stay here forever, but it'll be... Having an extra guest house is probably a good idea. We tend to adopt a lot of people.
Mhm.
I mean, sure, but I don't have any money.
I'm not asking you for money, I'm asking you for what you want. Do you have any requests? Any
Four
desire?
walls, a door. I don't even need that, actually. I'm fine with just sleeping underneath the stars, to be honest.
Alright, I'll make sure they have a skylight.
Yes! Skylight.
Vix.
I've never had a place before, so I don't really know anything about that.
Okay. Let's just start with the basic building and worry about interior later. I will buy that later. I was gonna pre-buy everything, but it's fine.
Candles?
You need to build the house before you have candles to burn it down.
What about a candle house?
You want a candle house? What do you mean?
That just
A
be made
house?
of wax?
A house shaped like a candle
Shaped like
with a giant fire on top.
I second that. That's kind of cool.
I'll see what I can do.
Vix, what if we got you like a candle making station? Then you can make your own candles and thus infinite candles.
That sounds like a lot of work. I'd rather just steal them. Honestly.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going into Waterdeep to see about getting a wizard's tower and a house that looks like a candle.
Well, I guess it would kind of be like a tower with like a...
I
Right.
envisioned what came into my mind was the Lord of the Rings with the giant eye at the top burning.
I thought of a lighthouse.
No.
A lighthouse, yeah, I guess a lighthouse because
I know,
it is
technically.
spirally. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go in and for that.
So you guys are planning on putting a lighthouse on the property here?
Apparently.
That's amazing.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
We literally have 2 towers. There's gonna be a lighthouse and a tower.
Yep. Fantastic.
We are Lord of the Rings. Oh no.
While they're going to Waterdeep, I'm just gonna be playing with the dragon dogs.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, sure.
After cleaning the room, that's what I'd be
Yeah.
doing too.
Awesome. So I'm gonna double check prices on towers.
Okay.
during the break. I don't have that prepared.
You're good.
That's not
We can
something
say this is
written
happening in the background. I'm
Yeah.
not.
I
we
don't think it's gonna matter. You guys got a ton of cash, so
Yeah.
ultimately it's not gonna matter. Molfin, you can go in and find all the candles that you'd ever need in Waterdeep, and it's just gonna be like base price out of the player's handbook of however many.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly how much candles are from the. It's
No
it's
worries,
it's
I can
probably
look.
not a whole lot.
It's not a lot.
So you can purchase as many as you think would be adequate for your rituals and.
Well, there's what's adequate for my rituals, and there's what's adequate for my rituals and the candle thief.
Yeah.
True.
You're gonna have to get your own extra dimensional space that's just storage of candles, so you can go into it, grab another box, set them all up, and cool.
Yeah, so it's 0.01 gold pieces. So what's that? A copper?
A copper.
Copper, yeah.
Yeah, so it's 1 copper a candle.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
You can buy lots of candles.
How many are you getting?
That realistically, just because I don't think I question how much a store would have in stock.
Right.
I'm probably just gonna put down that I picked up 20.
Okay,
It's 2 golds worth.
sounds good. You can go ahead and add those to your sheet. That's perfectly fine. Diana, did you want to wait until you had a full day to be able to go do what you were planning to do? Because you this is like evening
Yeah.
time right here. So
Yeah.
you could do it. It would just be like the last thing, and it might be a little bit kind of crammed in, but it's up to you.
Yeah, no, I plan on I'll wake up early tomorrow and go into the city and do the thing that I was going to do.
Okay.
In the meantime, I think I will just be with Vix and Silver and also playing with the dragon dogs, checking up on the griffins, feeding them, going around, just basically like the farm animals, like tending to them, like visiting them, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, excellent. How about all three of you make animal handling checks for me?
Oh
Oh
god.
no, goodness. Okay, fine.
Oh, not
Like
bad.
even
18.
surface.
18. Look at that.
Roll a 17 plus
Sorry, there's
1.
a box in the way for a second.
8. I like that number, apparently.
Yeah.
Ooh, I also got an 8.
Oh.
Wow. 2 of you are
I think
getting
I'm
beaten.
plus. I think I'm plus 2 in animal handling.
Oh yeah, this is a 10. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so a little better
Roughly.
than Vix. The dragon dogs, the drakes, they love Silver. Like, he's like, it's kind of like when you got that one uncle that just like all your pets love, and it comes over. Like that's Silver right now. Like he just comes in and just starts playing with them, and they just want to hang out.
Zoss, you have a +5.
Zoss has a +5 to animal handling. Okay, so
Oh, I have a
like-
+5.
Yeah, so Zoss, you're doing a pretty good job.
Sorry.
You're going through all the chickens and calling out all their names as you're going through, tending and feeding the animals and working with your griffins a little bit. In the background, you see Vix goes like streaking by, screaming as a couple of the animals are actually chasing him. A couple of the chickens, like feathers are flying off, and they're like, like chasing after him.
This is why I hate birds!
So that's going on in the background. Vix isn't very successful with the birds, and now you get
Oh,
it.
poor Vix.
He does not like birds. But yeah, Silver, I mean, those drakes love you.
They're the best. And I'm just like playing with them, like kind of wrestling with them, you know?
Awesome.
'Cause I'm super strong, so they can't really like pin me down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just, yeah.
Perfect. Eventually, Molfin and Callista, you guys do come back from Waterdeep late in the evening, and if you guys are okay with it, I was just going to go ahead and fast forward to the next morning.
Okie dokie.
Yep.
Unless you guys have like a scene you want to take with another character here late at night, or want to roleplay something out, totally up to you guys.
I'm okay at the moment.
Okay. No? Okay. So we will fast forward. Everybody take a long rest. Well, Molfin, where are you sleeping?
Oh, bloody hell. Wolfen will probably stay in Waterdeep.
Oh,
Get
you
a room. Get a room in Waterdeep.
okay? Getting a room in Waterdeep.
It makes the most sense at this right now.
Okay, all right. So Molfin's gonna stay in Waterdeep. The rest of you do get the benefits of a long rest. Any of you that had if you had any exhaustion left over from before, I think you guys used your spells to get out of the exhaustion. But now you guys get all your spells back, hit points back up to maximum. I know a couple of you didn't. I think Ashlyn and Diana did not get the benefits of a long rest last sleep because they were too close to Molfen. So now you do. You get those benefits. Molfen, in the morning as you're making your trek back, everybody in that hotel, that tavern, that hotel, that inn that you stayed at is in an irate, terrible mood. Like, everybody looks half asleep. They got big, dark bags under their eyes. Like, everybody's growling at each other, basically. The cook and wait staff are just terrible to the customers in the morning as you're walking out.
Yep. That's about right.
Because pretty much no one on a block got any sleep last night because of you.
And then I will specify...
He stays at the same place every night for a week and kills everybody in a block. Jeez.
Okay.
So
Molfen
evil.
will, before leaving, prepare seeming and cast seeming on himself.
Okay. What are you casting seeming to appear as?
Cool.
When I robbed the jewelry store, that same halfling.
Oh, when you robbed the jewelry store. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
When I ran out of there looking like Molfen and then cast seeming to look like a random halfling I was walking by.
Okay, sure, yeah.
That same halfling.
Molfen, as you're making your way back, you do catch the Waterdeep Gazette, and you notice an interesting image on the front. It appears there to be a picture of a Dallas rumor mill.
We'll just stop and read it.
It appears as you're reading through that there was no strong evidence, and other than after a deep thorough investigation, they found Dallas to be not guilty of breaking another individual out of prison, because the individual showed no knowledge whatsoever of anything arcane to the mages to be able to do some of the things that were done on that day. So it seems like after some questioning, he was let free by the authorities of Waterdeep. As you're looking through your paper.
Molfen will bring it with him, just sort of chuckling. And after he leaves the city and is sort of making his way back, I'm going to cast Sending and send a message to Rumor Mill.
Okay.
Nice to see you got your freedom. Thank you for the aid in getting my friend out. And that's it.
You hear back in your mind, I don't think he can really, like, it's not like he's trying to respond to you on purpose. It's kind of like he's just thinking this and it's coming through to you. It's like, wait, what? No way. Really? Maybe. No. And just, there's a bunch of that going on in your head, and then it just stops.
Molfen's walking back. He's having a grand old morning now.
All right, and eventually you do arrive back at the Dumpster Fire Ranch, where everyone is awake and preparing breakfast, grabbing things to eat. Silver has the drakes kind of just all around him, rubbing up against his leg and kind of just jumping all over him. Tongue's like lapping at him, and he's tossing toys around, and they're running and chasing it. And you hear eventually one of them runs into a table, and a vase falls off of it. It shatters in the corner. Oops.
I go outside. That was not me. But I would also I would attempt to try and like teach them some tricks and stuff like that too. You know, like
Okay. I would say with your 18 that you rolled in the previous evening, you can go ahead and determine one basic trick that you think they would be able to do.
I will teach them how to basically, because I'm assuming these are rather long drakes, or like size-wise, like
Yeah, they don't look full grown, but they look like they're growing rapidly. Like they are way bigger than what they were when they first hatched already.
okay, so like I'll basically teach them how to like jump up and give me like double like high fives, basically,
Okay.
with their front like claws.
Impressive. There you go.
So
I'll say with that roll, you can have that. And, you know, sometimes it takes a little extra time for them to finally get it, but eventually they'll jump up, and usually for some enticing with some extra treats or snacks, that always helps.
great.
Nice.
But you guys are here for breakfast. Ashlyn is here, but on Roleplay Light, as Sarah couldn't be with us tonight, so she is a part of the conversation, but we will leave the roleplay into her for most of the time. So, what would you guys like?
If a chicken comes near me, I pull my dagger on it and I point it at the chicken and tell the chicken to leave me alone.
Okay, well,
Because I don't mess with the chickens anymore.
okay. But currently, right now, there are no chickens in the house, so you're safe.
Yeah, I'm just saying. If a chicken, I'm pulling out my dagger and pointing it at a chicken if it comes anywhere near me.
You guys watch as Vix is pointing a dagger at a ceramic chicken in the corner.
Yeah.
That's like a cookie jar, basically. He's just holding it.
100%.
I think I have the notebook that has all the names of the chickens. I want to see what chicken he's pointing a dagger at.
It's a terrific one. It doesn't have a name.
It's just a cookie jar.
Hey, welcome, Shift 70 up. Good to see you.
So we have a few days remaining before we have to go back to Silvery Moon. Do we have anything we're planning on taking care of?
I know Diana has something to do today. But she's currently looking for her chickens right now.
I didn't kill any of them yet.
Oh, try not to. She's named each and every one of them.
If they mess with me again, it's lights out for one of these chickens.
Just to warn you, have you not heard the tale of the young adventurer by the name of Link?
No.
All he did was injure a single chicken, and the entire swarm
my thing fell.
murdered him. Poor young gnomish lad.
I thought his name was Zelda.
That's how you say his name in Draconic.
Oh!
Okay, makes
It
sense.
all makes sense.
Finally, some clarity. Finally.
So you're telling me not to stab the chicken, or else a bunch of chickens are gonna attack me?
That is correct.
Yes.
I'm also telling you not to stab the chicken.
I think I'm going
The
to
chicken
roll
started it. You should have seen it yesterday.
How many chickens do we have?
I will talk to the chicken and make sure it leaves you alone.
Pretty
How
sure
about that?
you have 50 chickens. Was it 50? I'm
Yeah.
pretty
50
sure it was
chickens?
50
Yeah, 50
chickens.
chickens.
Yeah.
There was like a gang of chickens, and they were all just ganging up on me, chasing me everywhere.
I will talk to the chickens and tell them to leave you alone.
Alrighty, one.
All right, tell them if they run up on me again, I'm gonna stab
Chicken
one
number
of them.
10.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I don't
7,
care if the
8,
whole
9,
gang
10.
attacks
You
me.
leave Spoon alone.
Who?
Spoon, that's the chicken.
The chicken named
Spoon.
Spoon.
Spoon, yes. He looks like a spoon to me. I don't know. He's got a
Again,
little, like...
they attacked me. I was doing nothing wrong.
That's okay. I don't know about that one.
You were there. You watched.
Yeah. I wasn't watching the whole thing. I just kind of looked over, and there you went. Chickens chasing you, feathers flying. I was like, what did he do?
I saw an egg on the ground,
Oh no.
and I thought maybe I should take that inside so we can have an omelet. And when I grabbed the egg, the chicken started pecking me.
Well, there's your problem.
So
You
I ran
shouldn't
away.
take things that aren't yours. What a concept.
But I've seen you guys take eggs before.
I asked permission.
Is that what you're doing when you start, like, making chicken noises?
Yes.
Maybe you should go hang out with the cows, Jamie. I mean, Vix.
I should also
one
go
of the
hang out with the
cows-
cows.
I think one of the cows is named Jamie. Wait,
I should go in real life to hang out with some cows.
I'm
Alright.
sorry.
I love it.
Diana, did you have somewhere to go today, honey?
I did indeed. I'm gonna go do that.
Okay.
The cows scare me too, though. I'm not gonna lie.
So does this barn cat.
I'm not scared
Yes.
of cats.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I forgot that I knew a Jamie, and then I named one of the pigs Jamie. It's not an insult. It's just one of the It's just the pigs are named Jamie. I'm sorry.
Zos actually hates me.
No, I love it. I think I was thinking of Game of Thrones, and then
It's okay.
I was reading out the names one day, and I was like, "Oh wait, I know one. I know a Jamie. Never mind."
It's all right. I'll take it.
Could switch it around. Oh no, because I named the cows after Real Housewives. That's why. Mhm.
All right, so Diana, you
Yeah.
wanted to go to the Elmater Temple in Waterdeep, right? That's where you were headed.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going by yourself? Is anybody going with you? How do you wanted to do this? So.
If anybody would like to visit the temple with me, they may.
I'll come with you, but I'll wait outside. Like, I'm
Molten would
not going
probably
away.
tag along as well.
Molfin, Jesus Christ.
That's damn right. The Lord and Savior, Molten.
I will also tag along, having not been to Waterdeep many times.
Okay.
I mean, I will go if Vix is going.
All right.
Seems like a family trip then.
Yeah, Ashlyn will come with you guys and just be in the back. Ryld will come along too. Might as well. Everybody's just kind of following Diana into Waterdeep.
Heck yeah.
Molfin, how long does your seaming last? Would you
8 hours.
8 hours? So you'd continue seaming all the way through this? Yeah. So it's like a random halfling showed up at your house. And then,
Oh, hey, Molfin.
Yep.
I need some
I
new
like
friends.
True
Fine.
sight.
True sight. Yep. Silver can see
Oh.
you.
I wish you had had that when Vix was still the dragon. It was quite amusing seeing Vix and the dragon sort of superimposed on each other.
Oh, I did for a little while. It was very interesting.
Those days are far behind me.
That's only what you think.
What do you mean by that?
I'm sure I mean nothing. Give a little pat on the head.
Okay.
All right. So you guys make your way down through Waterdeeps. Basically going down, straight down through the high road there on your map, down to the Hospice of St. Lopson. Lopson? Trying to make sure I said that right. Yeah. Heading down, curving off into the streets, you make your way into the courtyard of this, which is basically, like I said before, it's a temple, but it's more like a hospital. And there's a lot of people coming in and out. It's always pretty busy. And a lot of the temple priests and workers of the temple are out and about as Diana, you approach with your comrades.
Right. I will walk up to the I will walk in to the temple, and I guess just kind of look for the person who is currently most in charge. I guess.
Okay. Yeah. You do see someone familiar. You recognize Jidek, who was the priest that basically helped you guys a lot whenever you guys were here with the funeral.
Anastasius.
Yeah, Anastasius. And he kind of oversaw all that and helped you guys out with all that situation. So you do see him as you walk in.
Okay.
So,
I will approach Jidek and be like, "Hey,
Diana, it's good to see you.
hello, good to see you too. How you been?
I'm excellent. How have you been?
I can't complain. Kind of busy lately, but you know, it's slowing down now. I wanted to talk to somebody about a letter that I got that was sent to me. Yeah.
Oh, you received a
temple.
letter.
Yeah, about the election thing. Yeah.
Oh, the election.
Yeah. Is that still going on?
Absolutely. Oh, so
Okay.
you received the letter from Nusha.
Yes, I did,
Oh,
from Nusha.
that is great. We're gonna be in competition against each other. I also received a letter.
Oh, fun. Okay, cool. Sounds great.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thanks. Congratulations to you too.
Oh,
Can I find Nusha somewhere around here
Oh,
to ask a few questions? or-
Absolutely. I'll take you to her office.
Great. Would love that. Thank you.
You got it. And he eventually leads you to the office of the director of priestly services here within the temple. And after,
Director of Priestly Service.
yep, it has a little thing on the door. You know, you
I love that. There's a plaque.
a little plaque. Yep. Eventually, you walk in to see an elven female, very long blonde hair, and has very distinct features, very pointed nose, very pointy ears, high cheekbones, very prominent. And she is sitting behind a desk, and she is just milling about papers. Looks like very boring papers, and is just going through things. Looks like showing a little bit of stress as she's busy working through this. And Jidek kind of opens the door and Nusha, we have a visitor. It's Diana. She has come back in response to the letter that you sent. And he's like, basically just kind of passes you off to her and just kind of gives you a nod and then just exits out.
I do that awkward thing that people do when they're walking into a room and they just physically knock and go, knock, knock, when they knock.
She's just like milling through papers. Come in, please. Come in, Diana. I'm sorry, I seem to lost some of these papers. They gotta be in the blue folder. Where is the blue folder? There's the green folder.
I can help you look for it.
Oh, you help her look for it?
Yeah.
Make a perception check for me.
Okay. Boop. Doo 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 doo. Oh, and not 20.
Nice. You see a piece of a blue folder sticking up on top of like what looks to be like a wooden file cabinet of some sort, kind of behind in the corner. Looks like a couple of yellow folders are piled on top of it and it's hiding it from view, but you can see it underneath there.
Here you go. Blue folder.
I've been looking for that folder for the last 20 minutes. That is remarkable.
Thank you. Just talents that would aid me greatly in the upcoming election. No, I'm kidding.
You're not after my job, are you?
No.
Okay, good. So you've come in response to the letter.
Yeah. I had a couple of questions just about like that thing, you know.
Well, sure.
Elected to replace Solar. That's cool. Or running in the election to replace Solar. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool stuff.
Oh well, I'm all ears. What questions do you have?
I just had a few questions about just I suppose like well, what would the campaign be like, you know? Like do we like hang flyers around the city? Like what is it's just a church thing, right? Like it's just yeah.
You will. The majority of the voting will be done through our priests and things, but I will not stop you from hanging flyers if you choose.
Okay, cool. I've never what's the word that I'm looking for? I've never run for anything before. So I just was a little bit the process, you know.
Well, let me tell you what, Diana. I want to tell you this. Can you please shut that door?
Oh, the door?
Yes.
Shuts the door.
Yeah, just shut that door right there, okay? I just wanted to tell you,
My actual
just from, you didn't hear this from me, but
okay.
Saint Solar himself was the one who nominated you, and you come in very, very high favor within the temple.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Cool. All right. That's
I mean,
wonderful to
you
hear.
have a remarkable resume.
Oh, thank you. I feel
Champion of the North, the defeater of Ironrith, the terrible blue dragon.
I mean, you know, I do it all in service of you know. I just go where he guides me.
I also saw that you defeated a terrible lich.
Yeah. A lot of trauma there. We don't talk about that. No.
Okay. I won't delve any deeper. I just saw it on the resume, so I wanted to make sure I pointed it out, you know.
It is on the resume. Well, that's super cool. If I were like to say win the election, would like how like is the job capable of being done remotely, like not in office?
Usually when a new saint, a superior high priest is elected, they usually develop their own work environment and schedule of their choice.
Okay.
Some prefer to be more in-house office, while some others prefer to be out there helping others and reducing or just helping to prevent the suffering of those outside of the walls of this place. So,
Right.
I mean,
I just
that's why
wouldn't
you
want
have
to-
people like me here to be directors of the in-house things, and we have a lot of administrative assistants that keep things running here.
Okay, cool. That's good. I'm glad that y'all would keep things running even if I weren't here. But I wouldn't want to never be here. You know what I'm saying? Like I take the temple very seriously. I want to be present in the city, in the temple, helping people who need it, healing people, and doing things for I'm just saying I would have a lot of ideas for things that we could do for the poor in the city. I do have some ideas. But I was curious, I suppose, on how flexible the hours were, I guess. And
it is totally your choice. You make your own schedule. There will be definitely major decisions that have to come through your that will have to be viewed by you and decided by you only. But I can definitely keep you in close communication with all those things. That's primarily my job, is to be your direct assistant.
Alrighty. Can I insight check this person?
Sure.
I kind of want to see. I'm just saying, if Solar managed to miss an entire underground demon worshipping ring within the church, and this person just said she's supposed to be the one informing the saint, sounds kind of sus.
Okay, sure.
I rolled a 19. I think I have a plus 10.
Okay. Yeah, your vibe that you're getting is, like, she's not necessarily responsible for, like, she's not responsible for doing his job for him. She's just responsible for, like, making sure, like, kind of like if you go to any office assistant that's directly related to them, just, like, keeping their stuff in order. So, it wouldn't necessarily be, like, you get the vibe she didn't know anything about that, and she just makes sure that the priests are doing their jobs here, and she also does, you probably with a roll that high, she does a lot of, like, if you guys remember when you guys started this adventure, Natasha was coming from Daggerford to Waterdeep for training and stuff, so she probably does most of the administrative work between getting people training and things of that nature too, so she runs a lot of that stuff as well.
Oh yeah, Natasha. I need to check on her. Alrighty then, cool. I suppose my final question is just about details of the job and stuff like that. You know, I feel like it being in a role of leadership, stuff like that, it would be important to, you know, lead. And I suppose I was just curious if there were any, like, clerics in training, or, like, you know, like sermons to be given on, like, a particular day. Like, would that, like, be a component of the job as well?
Oh,
because I feel like if
yes.
I'm gonna be a saint, I want to, you know, be a saint. I don't know what do saints do. I'm assuming that they, like,
absolutely, there'll be plenty of opportunities. I mean, we have many clerics and priests training here at the temple right now.
Right then.
It's kind of like, this is like out of game, kind of like when you go to, like, a college that's also a hospital, and you have a lot of the doctors that have the assistants, like, walking around with them learning the trade. It's kind of like that with
the first year residents.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Yes.
So you
I thought you were gonna say, like, a Christian college, and I was gonna be like,
no, it's like because we have right across the river, we have a college that's Augusta University, but they have a hospital, and basically it's like the university is synced with the hospital, so that's what it's like.
That's cool. Alrighty, cool. I'll watch up on some Grey's Anatomy. No,
there you go. But no, there'll be plenty of opportunities for you to deliver sermons or speak to people if you choose. That's totally your choice.
Cool. Alrighty. Wonderful. I suppose that was all the questions that I had. Thank you so much for this conversation, and for the wonderful advice. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Look forward to the results of the election. We can't wait.
I will start making posters. I'll make them sparkly. Okay. All right, cool. And I will exit the office. Thank you so much. Okay, bye. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Do you want this closed? Do you want this closed again?
Yeah, please.
Okay, cool.
I got like 40 folders to go through. And Diana,
I'll close the door behind me.
Diana rushes back out to greet you guys once again. I believe you guys were waiting outside.
If anybody wanted to go into the temple and mess around, they can, as, like, while Diana was doing all that.
Okay.
Is there anything interesting looking in the temple? Or
I see your face, Molfin.
I mean, imagine a hospital. I mean, you guys, there's a lot of things that are interesting in there, but
Hospital/churchy.
Hospital church combination.
Candles.
There's
Hospital church university.
probably a lot of.
I wouldn't steal candles from a
candles.
holy place.
You're weak. Would the group have heard I can't remember his name, Drydick?
Jidek.
Jidek. Would we have heard him say that he was in competition with her?
He said that inside. Did you guys go inside at all? It would have been in like the main lobby.
Probably
Anyone
not.
follow me in as I'm...
Yeah, if you didn't go inside, you wouldn't have heard it.
Unless there were like flashy statues in the main lobby or whatever, I probably wouldn't have gone in either.
Not this place. The Ilmater's not like they're not flashy. It's not a flashy faith because they believe that they want to put their money into helping suffering people. So most of their money gets spent on helping the suffering and the poor. So they don't. Their buildings aren't very flamboyant or flashy. They don't do a lot of decorating. They keep it simple and, you know, to the point.
I probably saw like
red strings and fur coats.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I probably saw like a corn dog cart across the street, and I went to that instead.
Ooh, corn dogs.
Okay.
Was Molten followed for the corn dogs?
Everybody smells corn dogs.
Are there people approaching this temple?
Oh yeah, there's people all around. Yeah.
Right, but does it look like there are poor and downtrodden, like people coming in looking for help?
Yeah, there are a couple of people that are looking kind of sickly. That come. You see
nobody
one
looking like they're just on rough times.
Yeah, you probably see a couple.
Molfin's gonna look for people who are look to be in rough financial straits.
Okay.
And sort of corner them to the side a little bit.
You do find like there's a couple, looks like a younger couple, human man and woman, just kind of sitting on the steps of this place, and it looks like they're just kind of wearing almost just this upgrade of rags kind of deal. Definitely look like homeless individuals, just kind of sitting there on the.
Molfin will sort of shuffle his way over a little bit. Again, trying to avoid being noticed by Vixen Silver, just giving up completely on not being noticed by Callista. Because.
Well, you're also still seeming as a halfling, I believe, so.
True. But again, Callista has seen Molfin.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, yeah.
I'm doubtful that Molfin is getting out of her line of sight, but it's going to just come up to them and go into his pouch and very gently just sort of grab one of their hands and put 2 platinum pieces into their hand.
Aww.
I just said, as the hands go just from it, just leans over and quietly, "You shouldn't always believe everything you read." Just pat the hand and then walk over to the corn dog cart.
They just kind of look at you in awe for a moment, and then you just hear, thank you. As they just kind of look at these 2 platinum pieces in the palm of his hand, and at that time, as you're walking away, eventually they stand up and they start heading off into another direction with these funds. And then you head and get a corn dog. As you see, Vix, he does one of those things in the cartoons where his feet are off the ground and he's floating with the little the scent aroma leading him to the cart of corn dogs.
When really it was just Ryle casting Levitate on him, and he just...
That's it. Hey, you know, I figured have a little fun while we're in town.
Yeah, but if I was to do that, I'd be getting yelled at by your daughter right now.
Levitation is very tame. I don't think I'd yell at you for levitating.
You gotta be careful. She can hear all this.
Depends on what he's levitating up there.
I was just told if I levitate, I will not get yelled at. Gonna go find a Waterdeep City guard.
Oh god.
I said you levitating won't be yelled at. Levitating someone else.
All right. Diana does eventually emerge from the temple.
Yeah.
As you see, the entire group has corn dogs, Diana.
I have 2.
Oh, no fair.
I
Where
hand
did
her
you guys
one.
get those?
I have 4,
Yay! Thank you.
2 in each hand.
I accept the corn dog from Callista. I'm so happy. I have some exciting news to tell you guys. Now that it's all squared away. Okay, cool. I'll just get going with it. Anyways, my temple contacted me about an election for Solar's position of sainthood and essentially leading the this temple, you know, and being a figure in it of authority or whatever. And they sent me a letter asking me to run in the election for it. So I'm gonna do that and possibly have a higher role in my church, be able to do more things for more people, have more outreach, stuff like that. Cool things. Anyways, that's it. That's why we're here. Yeah. Corn dogs.
It's about time they recognized you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the election hasn't happened yet, so it's not confirmed. It's not my position yet. You know, Ilmater willing.
But you were nominated.
I was nominated.
Who else was nominated?
I need to make posters. Does anyone want to help me make posters?
I'll help you make posters.
I'm thinking sparkles.
I could do that with Druidcraft.
I probably shouldn't say this, but isn't your religion based on piety and not material and shine?
But
You're talking to
sparkles.
Diana. That's all she's about.
Molfin, listen, my church is one thing, but I have learned from you guys how to be my own individual. And look at me, okay? I'm wearing red string, and for like the rest of them, I also am in gold armor, gold shiny armor.
What if instead, like, what if you just walked in there and just started healing a bunch of people?
Here's another question. Who else was nominated?
Jadek.
Anyone else, or is it just the 2 of you?
I actually don't know. I think I don't know.
How
It
many
could be just
usually? How
I
many are
don't know.
usually nominated each term?
What an excellent question for someone who is in church and should know the answer. It's been a minute since I've been to church. I'm not gonna lie.
Diana, you would know from being in the system in this religion
In the system.
in the system. You would know that it could be any number. Like it could be 2. It could
Okay.
be more than that. Like it just depends on how many nominations they receive. Usually they'll take, as long as there's a good reason to nominate somebody, they'll take it.
Okay. We tend to we don't have a cap on it really. Like any number of people could run. It's
When
just sort of a
is-
question. Yeah.
When is the vote? Like, when do you know? Do we need
I
to stay
might
here
need
a
to go
little bit
back.
longer?
I might need to go back inside and ask her.
I
another
turn her
question.
around. Maybe ask a few more questions, honey.
Okay.
Okay. Take
I
your corn
really-
dog and go.
She's gonna walks back in with the corn dog.
One more thing.
I run back up to the office and I knock on the door and wait for the.
Come in.
I open the door really quick. I just kind of lean my head in and I'm like, by the way, one final question. When is the election?
The election is 1 month away.
Great, awesome, thank you. Point the little corn dog at her. I'll see you, and then close it again.
Oh, by the way,
Runs
there
back
are
down.
3 people nominated.
Oh, thank you. Great, another question that I forgot to ask. Thank you.
I love when NPCs meta the game. It's so good. Amazing.
Wait, I turn on my heel. I come back around, knock on the door again.
okay? Come in.
Open it again. I'm so sorry. Did you see that there were 3 other people campaigning?
Well, 3 total. That's including you, so it'd be 2 others.
Okay, what are their names again?
Well, you know Jidek.
Yeah.
He's
Jidek.
been real influential here, and we've got one from the temple in Silvery Moon, Romero Kahru.
Romero Kahru.
Yes.
Noted. Thank you again. Have a great day. And I close it.
Oh, can you pick me up a corn dog?
Sure. I get her a corn dog.
Okay.
I run out of the temple. I walk past them. I'm like, okay, so the election is in 1 month. There's 3 other people. There's 2 other people running. It's Jidek and then someone from Silvery Moon, Romero. And I'm saying this as I'm walking towards the thing. I grab a corn dog, pay for it, and then run back up.
She just walks by you guys, having this whole conversation, takes a corn dog into the temple. 2 minutes later, comes back out.
I think she's excited.
But as she disappears back into the temple, Alvin's going to look at Callista. So we're going to help her win this, correct?
Malpin, she doesn't need our help.
Well, like,
I need help with the
I mean-
posters.
Corrupt entity.
Yes, I know you are, but she's not.
Yes, and I grew from her church.
That was in Daggerford. Not this one. She's been through a lot of shit. If
That's nothing
anyone
else.
deserves to win this election fairly, it's her.
yeah, but what if we all walked in right now and healed everybody that was injured? I can't do sick, but I can help with injured people.
I can't heal people at all.
I can also heal people and potentially bring people back from death, but that's besides the point. If that's the course Diana wants to take, that's her choice.
I'm quite sure
But
if I
this
march
is
in there,
her.
the temple
was
will
that?
burn. I'm quite sure if I march in there, the temple will burn. So,
Right, so let's not make it worse for her. I believe in her. Don't you?
yes, but I also know sometimes an advantage can be fun.
Not this time. Please,
Unless she asks.
unless she asks.
Okay, I will not heal anybody unless they ask.
That's not what I meant. I was talking to Malpin, not you, Vix.
Oh, I thought we were okay. All right.
You can heal anyone you want. I'm not gonna stop you from healing somebody. That's a good thing.
Do I see anybody like limping in with like a broken leg or anything?
Yeah, somebody's hobbling over by there. Yeah.
Healing word.
Oh, I feel much better now. Oh, wow. He looks over at you. Did you do that?
Did you just yell healing word?
Did you just
Just
yell something at me? My knee feels better.
Yeah, you know, all in a day's work. Thank Diana.
Well, thank you, Diana. And he starts walking away.
Wait, do I walk out in that moment? Like,
Well,
yeah,
what
you
did
walk
I
out
do?
and he just thanks you and walks away.
okay.
Ta-da!
Cool. Sorry, I had to get the director a corn dog. Anyways. Yeah.
all right.
Woohoo.
Good. Good to know.
I'm really
Any
excited,
other
guys.
shenanigans any of you need to do here today?
Well, if we're not removing Drajek or whatever his name is.
Jidek?
Yes,
What would we remove him for?
make him gone.
Why would we make him gone?
We go from 3
He's
to 2.
See, I wasn't talking about murder. I was talking about
Who
healing.
said anything about killing
You
him? I said
guys-
remove him.
you
can send him down
guys.
to Skullport. He can do
I
good work
told-
out there with Taz.
Okay, Molfin, I can see the love behind your motivations.
Oh my god!
It warms my heart so much that you want to commit some kind of election fraud or dig up some dirt, blackmail somebody out of leaving a competition with me. That means so much to me. We're not gonna do it, but that means a lot. Thank you.
Little halfling pout.
So good.
Oh, my cheeks hurt.
Oh my gosh, so good.
I can do anything for the rest of the day that y'all want to do. Thank you for joining me on this journey.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's stop at a craft store or the general store and get her some poster paper that she can start working on
Sure, absolutely.
before we head back.
You go stop by your local Dollar Tree and pick up some poster board.
Crafts
I
supplies.
got multicolored ink for a quill.
Yeah, it's just like a 32 pack of different colored inks.
That's it. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
One of those little packages that has all the different colors of tubes of glitter in it that you can get.
Yes.
Diana's favorite color is gold, so she picks a bunch of gold ones.
A bunch of gold ones, you got it.
Gold and green. Those are Diana's colors.
Gold and green, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, so anything else that you guys want to do in Waterdeep here, or do you guys want to carry on somewhere else? What would you guys like to do? I mean, right now, we're at some downtime moment where the story is basically yours to steer in the direction you would like to go.
I'm fine with some time skips, but like before we get back to Silvery Moon, I probably want to check in with the constructions and also with Vix and Silver on top of that.
Okay. Anything else for anybody else? We can get to that Vix and Silver conversation in a moment. If anybody has just like kind of like an outline of anything they would like to accomplish, and then we can get to those things in specific.
I don't know whenever we get back to the house, but I'll run up to my room whenever we get back to the house, and I will say, if anybody has cute catchphrase ideas, you let me know. And I go into my room and do my thing.
Okay. Awesome. Molfin, is there anything in particular for you?
Molfin would. Well, let me see how Molfin's feeling. I gotta roll something real quick to see if Molfin is planning on going back to that same inn again. So Molfin has a room at the same inn.
Oh no!
Okay.
I rolled a 2.
That's 2 points of exhaustion for everybody.
Hopefully some of the same people aren't staying that night, you know?
It's Molfin would go back to the ranch with everyone else.
Okay.
I spent some time just copying. He's still in the process of copying spells over from those 2 spell books his free time. So
Sure.
I spent some time doing that.
Oh yeah, you could definitely do that.
We'll definitely take a moment as Diana calls out for catchphrases. And we'll sort of roast in for a little bit. And I think Diana's room, if I remember, is upstairs from the main floor, right? On the second floor?
Yes. Yes, it is.
So Molfin will call up. Technically, you can go the rest of your life without eating.
Technically, you can go the rest of your life without eating.
Then go back to what he's doing.
Diana has to think about that one.
So, Callista, you wanted to have a conversation with Vix and Silver.
Yeah, I think because she's been probably for the days that we have left before our armor's ready, she's working heavily to expedite the constructions, and she will help in elemental form if she has to.
Okay.
to help go faster. So she wants to make sure that Molfin's is at least 300 feet from the house.
Okay.
And the barn,
And then,
it has to be from all the animals.
yeah, it would be like on the opposite side of our property, on the other side of the acreage, basically, like
Okay.
300 feet.
Okay.
We can still see it from the house. I want to make sure that it's visible, so if something attacks him in the middle of the night, we can see it.
Okay.
Like, I want visual range on it. And then I want the candle shape house, the little mini lighthouse is what I'm calling it. Probably on the west side of the house.
Okay.
Not too far, like pretty close, like within walking distance if they have to like come in for breakfast or whatever. Like, I just want it separate but close enough that they're not too far.
Okay. Yeah, that could be done. Even with you helping, this like 6 days is not a whole lot of time when it comes to construction.
I know.
So it's still going to take them a little bit of time to build this stuff. But I will say you helping will take some of the time down. I just got to look at the actual rules on how long it takes to build that kind of stuff, because I think it is quite extensive. But
it is.
But I'll have to check.
But
it out.
she's trying to, especially not so much Vix and Silver's house, because they can sleep wherever. They said they can sleep on balconies and stuff. But for Molfin especially, she wants to get at least a room set up for him.
Okay.
Quick as possible.
Okay. Sure. We can say that that's happening kind of in the background, and then if you want to just like take a scene with Vix and Silver and talk to them, you can go ahead and do that.
Probably like late afternoon when everybody's off doing their own thing, she would catch the two of you somewhere on the farm. Just checking in.
Probably playing with the dragon dogs.
Yep.
No.
And pointing daggers at chickens.
Oh, please.
One of the chickens is just glaring back at you, Vix.
Spoon
Which
is
chicken
not
do you want it to be?
I hate you, Spoon. I hate you.
It's Spoon. You have beef with Spoon.
It's like in Family Guy when the guy when he fights
God.
that chicken?
Peter versus the chicken.
Peter versus the chicken.
Should there be one of the farm hands who sees this little dispute?
How are the two of you doing?
Pretty good.
I'd be better if Spoon left.
I will cast Speak with Animals and tell Spoon to leave Vix alone for the day.
He keeps staring at me.
You keep staring at him.
Because he keeps staring at me.
Go bug Jamie.
Why?
Because I said so.
Jamie doesn't have sharp, pointy thing.
Spoon, do you have a death wish? Go on. Go.
Fine. And the whole time he turns around, and he's walking away, and he's like still glaring at Vix.
What did you do to him?
I didn't do anything.
All right. Silver, did you see him do anything?
No, I was too busy playing with these drakes.
Well, I just wanted to check in with the two of you. I know you're still new to this group and this drama we kind of pull in everywhere, especially with that incident at the hotel. I just wanted to check in. I know you, and I nod at Silver, weren't too happy with Malfit.
He apologized, so I mean, as long as he apologized. Still don't necessarily trust him, but it's fine.
Good. Don't trust him. Let me and Diana trust him.
Sure.
The two of you do not have any emotional attachment or connection to him to protect you from him. I need the two of you to give me your word that if things go wrong, I need you to listen to me without question. Not just in Menzo, but going forward. Your lives could be at risk if you don't listen to me.
They got a dump truck?
you guys turn your heads and you see that the pig Jamie is standing in the middle of the street and there's a car blocking traffic.
Damn it, Jamie! Third time this week.
And there's Spoon chasing him out into the street with a little knife.
That's it.
Oh no, Spoon got a knife out too! What's that?
No, Spoon got pork. That's the other chicken.
Whoa!
You have not given me a reason not to trust you, but
I know.
But
I haven't really given you much reason to trust me either.
that is also very true.
You're building us a house.
That's not a bribe for your trust, Vix. That's just something that seems needed to be done. I take care of people that come and go through this family. Once you stick around for a little bit, you're kind of ours. And even if you leave, if we find out something's happened to you, we will come and find you. We will protect you at all costs. That's what the dumpster fire ranch does. That's why she laughed, because it sounds ridiculous coming out of her mouth. But Mulfin has changed. He's not the gnome he once was. If this was 6 months ago, there might have been a chance for him to really bond with you and attach himself to you. I don't think he has that space in his heart anymore. And that's what makes it dangerous for you to be around us. That being said, Diana, myself, and probably Ashlyn can protect you. That's not to say I'm questioning your own abilities, but I know Mulfin. And I don't want that to happen to you. That's not fair. I love Mulfin more than my own grandfather. He is family to me. But that doesn't make your impact here with us any less important to me. So I'm going to be greedy and try to keep you both safe. Does that make sense?
Not really, but sure.
I think it kind of makes sense. I mean, like, so when I first met you guys, I really thought Mulfin was pretty cool. And so I became like his general, and then Mulfin ended up being like kind of crazy. So I took it upon myself as Mulfin's general to start to try to take spells that can kind of control him a little bit.
I noticed that, yes. He
but
doesn't like being controlled.
Yeah, I don't think he liked it at all.
He wouldn't.
Which I didn't expect him to. I just, you know.
It was a bad combination of things. That's all it takes.
I am fully prepared, if anything bad happens, to go all out on Mulfin if I have to.
Dang. Sorry, I'm not there.
I really hope we don't have to.
I do too.
I will follow your all's lead.
Thank you, Silver.
I honestly think he'd kill me pretty fast if I tried to go all out on him, but you know, I'd get one round. I'd get him good.
I don't want that to be the case, obviously.
Yeah.
But those artifacts have changed him. And he says he has a plan to get rid of them, but that plan makes me nervous as well. There could be complications, there could be consequences that we're not thinking of. We've already seen that with Ashlyn's parents losing their memory over a wish. There's no telling what these artifacts of Vecna could manifest. And then we have the devils, and now we have to go deal with Lulth. We have a lot on our plate. And you don't have to come with us, but I hope you will. We could use your help.
I go anywhere Vix does.
Well, then I guess I'm asking Vix.
You have a great benefit of me not knowing anything, and honestly, you know, it can't get much worse. So, I mean, I hope to meet the real Molfin, I guess.
I hope you do too.
I hope I don't have to try to kill him, because I don't think I'll be able to. But you know, I'll try.
Well, Diana still believes she has a chance at saving his soul. I am not as optimistic as her. But she makes miracles happen on the daily, so if anyone could save Molfin, it's her. And I'm going to keep believing in her until the last minute.
I'm learning from her as well.
She's a good leader.
I believe in her more than I believe in her god, which is...
Me too, Vix, me too. Don't tell her I said that.
I almost said that at her temple, but I decided not to.
You have met him.
He didn't let me into his garden, Diana. I love you, but he wouldn't let me go with my girlfriend. Like, that's some...
The door got slammed in your
talk
girlfriend's
to you.
face, and you're like, "Oh, I'll just be inside for a bit, honey. You wait outside."
I'll talk to the bouncer next time.
Well,
I'll bring an extra 200. I'll slide it to him. No.
Silver, you don't have to follow me.
Yes, I do. You are my friend.
Yeah, but you have lots of friends now.
But they're all going. So why wouldn't I go?
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't
that's
think
true.
about that. Yeah.
there's a good man in Molfin somewhere. I know he's still there. You just haven't met him yet.
Well, let's get him out of there.
That's the plan. I'm glad you understand.
I really. What's the plan, though?
Listen to me. If things are going wrong, I need you to trust me and listen to me.
Okay, so the plan is trusting and listening to you.
Yes.
Cool.
See, Silver, here's the thing, all right?
Okay. Yes.
If you haven't noticed, Molfin has a lot of magic items.
Yes. Yes.
Those
He's
magic
got
items.
a very creepy hand.
Yes. Yes. If you couldn't tell from context clues, those magic items are evil.
So you're telling me he's not dressing like that for a fashion statement?
No. No.
Mm.
They're evil, and I guess they're making him evil. And
I might do it a little bit for fashion, just for the lulz.
they're making him evil to a point where he doesn't remember himself anymore.
Have you tried taking that
If
off?
we take any of the items off of his person, he will die. And his soul is going to be split at least 3 different ways.
What if you dispel them first?
It's not how it works. The only way that we could even destroy the artifacts, 1, he would have to die, and 2, we would need the sword.
Let's go get a sword.
Sword? What sword?
That's a conversation for another day. I think we'll stop here for now.
I mean, I
wanna
quite
know
like
more about this
swords.
sword. I like swords
Yeah.
too. Is it a finesse sword? Is it like a not finesse sword?
I have no idea. I don't use swords. They're all pointy, long things to me. I don't know.
But
Well,
some
then
of
that's
them,
not true. That's not
some
true
of them
at
are
all.
fast. Some of them are heavy.
Some of them are curved.
That's true. Some of them are curved multiple times.
Also true. Don't
I
get
don't.
stabbed with one of those. Those hurt.
Yeah. Some of them have spikes coming off the side.
Also, don't get stabbed with those. Those hurt too.
Or hooks.
I
Also
just know it's a
those-
sword. I'm sorry I don't know any other information aside from it's a sword.
Well, if it's a sword that can beat Wolfen, we should probably look into that some more.
I've started preparations to start looking into it, but we have Lulth to deal with first.
What if Lulth has the sword?
Oh, that would be something.
Win-win.
Who's Lulth?
A bitch? Goddess?
Oh.
Wannabe goddess? I'm not sure.
Well, you know, I haven't seen one of those, so sure it'll be fine.
Okay. Okay.
This has been
Carry on.
the best conversation. I love it.
Yeah. Calista just.
I just been
We'll
mute.
leave.
I just kept the mute on and was just cackling in the background this whole time. This is great.
Not how I wanted this conversation to go, but you know, we got here.
And after an interesting conversation between Callista, Vix, and Silver, I wanted to ask you guys what it is that you guys would like to do. Do you guys basically, are you trying to wait out the entire week here and then return to Silvery Moon? Is that what the plan was here? I didn't know if you guys were coming back, going to do another adventure, and then coming to Silvery Moon. So I didn't know what the timeline was.
Unless someone brings up something that needs to be done in the meantime, Callista just wants to wait for the armor and then go.
Yeah, because the armor's pretty
I will be
important.
putting up my posters.
Okay.
That's true. You're also working on your posters.
So we can fast track some of this unless there's something in particular that you guys want to do or stop me. It's 6 more days, and then I would say
Malcolm
assume
would
that
probably spend, if he can, at least one day going into Waterdeep, trying to see if he can find a scroll of illusory script.
okay. Let me make a roll.
It's a low-level spell.
Illusory script is what level?
I want to let me double check. I want to say it's first or second. First.
First. You would be able to find one,
Beautiful.
just to expedite things a little bit, you know.
And Molfen will pick that up at some point.
It'd probably be located at that. If you remember where that one that there was that one leftover head from one of those statues,
Yep.
and you guys had those magic items that were being sold, and that it's like a big, kind of like thrift shop of all kinds of things just piled up everywhere. You would probably find it there.
Beautiful.
I would probably go with Diana one of the days she's putting her posters up.
Okay.
And actually offer to actually heal people if she wants to, like go into her temple and just heal a bunch of injured people to try to help out, because I know they were like busy and stuff.
Oh yeah, sure.
Sweet. Diana probably would also, along with that, she would have wanted to take use her medicine skills to heal as well. If Jamie wants, if Vix wants to join her, then she is super okay with that. Very happy with that.
Okay.
Also, any funds that the party, or whatever my portion is, or whatever the party is willing to share, Diana will be donating, giving to the temple, giving to those in need, finding like homeless shelters or anything like that that are around the city, and trying to do the mostest that she can while she's in the city.
Okay. Yeah, that would definitely help, especially if you guys are going into the temple in particular to heal people in there as well. Especially some of the sick and things, and healing in front of the other priests and the clerics and acolytes that are being trained in the faith and things like that. That's a good way to get your name out there a little bit more to people who may not be familiar with you.
While she's there, she also is like regaling stories like, yeah, one time I did fight a demon and won. Oh, Yeah, that's what
How
I do.
many actually like injured people do they have? Just injured, not sick.
Injured?
Yeah.
It's a pretty big hospital. Currently there are 37.
Is there any way we could just gather all of those people together?
Group heal.
I could do it all at once, yeah.
I can cast heal. No, I can cast mass heal at a certain level and basically just give a bunch of people.
I can also cast mass heal.
Yo! Could have spent like 1,400 hit points.
Yeah.
Total.
We could heal everybody.
1,400 hit points.
Yeah.
And these
Total,
are
between the two
these
of
are
us.
commoners, so their hit point average is like 2 to 4.
Let's go cure a plague.
Let's go cure everyone.
4 hit points? Oh my god.
Hang on a second.
Walk into the
Let's
hospital,
do it.
heal everybody, walk out, and they have nothing to do anymore.
All they have to do is find more artifacts of Vecna to hide under temples.
Well,
Yeah.
you said
just
Nice
a
going.
ton of paperwork, though.
these are just the injured
this is
people.
injured.
It's not the sick. You guys keep.
Yeah,
those
I
in.
don't think that can heal sicknesses.
No, I don't think so. There is no known cure for the common cold, so.
Oh no, they're cured. They're cured of all diseases and any effects making them blinded or deafened.
Are we healing the? Are we really gonna go out and perform
We-
miracles and heal the blind and the deaf right now?
We can heal literally everybody in the hospital.
There are an additional
Ask them for
70
permission,
people that
though,
are
'cause
sick.
Some people don't want theirs to be healed.
So you're talking a total of 107 people right now in this hospital.
Let's gather them all together. Gather them all. Bring them all in here.
Do it. I kind of want to do like a speech or something beforehand, but I have nothing prepared. So I just feel like I should have a campaign speech in this moment, since this is very useful. Or wait, I'm in a huddle with Vix, and I'm like, okay, so you're my campaign manager right now.
Okay.
Do you think that I should do a speech before we heal these people? Do like a sermon type thing or something? Or does that come off as like too showboaty? You know what I mean?
think
Like,
it would be
looks like
too
we're
showboaty. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're only healing these people so that way I can win. Like, we want to heal
Yeah.
these people because we want to heal these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we should just want to heal them. I think that's the
Okay.
good. I think we just heal them and then walk away.
Yeah, you're right.
Like cool
then-
people walk away from explosions.
This is the cleric version of an explosion.
Yeah, yeah.
This is peak cleric badassery. All right, let's go. All right, cool.
The explosion is
I've
this
killed
mass of
people.
confident people walking behind you, wearing their medical gown from the hospital as they're walking out fully healed. So I tallied it up. For this, it would take you guys a total of 428 hit points to heal the entire hospital.
Oh, so Diana could do it by herself.
All
You don't
right.
even need me to cast. I'm just here.
Thank you for the idea.
No problem.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll just be like, you know what, everyone, go home.
This astonishes everyone as the blessing and warmth of Elmater comes over everyone within the hospital, mending broken bones, healing the common cold, even healing diseases that potentially did not have a diagnosis, like they didn't know what was wrong with an individual. They were still doing research or study on the person. All of a sudden, they all just feel better and begin to gather their belongings. And it's strange, as more of these individuals filter out of the hospital. It's weird. There's an emptiness within the temple. A lot of priests and acolytes are standing around looking at each other, unsure what to do. Because this is their job. This is their way of life. But here's the thing. After a while, you notice that more sick and more hurt start to trickle back in. And then you realize, yeah, this could be done, but it's almost a never-ending, impossible task to make sure that everybody is healed and everybody is free from disease or in good standing health. So eventually the rooms will fill back up, but you feel like you did a really good job this time. And you feel like you impressed a lot of the individuals here with just your blessing, your power that's been given to you from Elmater. No one...
I will turn to... Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, no one has seen something like this before in this hospital.
Diana will turn to Vix and whisper, thank you for the idea and the tip.
No, it's okay. I was gonna help, but you didn't need it, so...
No, I appreciate it. But yeah. I guess looking around at, like, the new people that are starting to trickle in and stuff like that, looking at this, there is a reason why they teach us basic medicine practice as well.
But you notice...
It's never ending.
And you also notice, Diana, as these people are starting to trickle in, you hear murmurs, and they're, like, excited. Even though they're sick, they're excited to be here because they have just seen people who have left here recently, and they are completely healed. And they know this is the place where they can go to be healed.
That's nice.
We made more believers in your God. We did it. We did it.
Awesome.
I will even Diana will stay and help like attendings with more people who are like sick and injured and stuff like that. She also has healing spells, so she like she still has healing spells, so she happens across anybody who's like particularly sick, particularly injured, like somebody got stabbed or something. She'll like spend a spell slot and like heal them as well. And after that, I don't know, if there's a soup kitchen, Diana's just gonna go do good.
Okay.
I'll help her out with the healing. I can't cure anybody sick unless we like gather a bunch of sick people again. But I can help with like the basic healing for a little while.
Okay, sure. That wouldn't be a problem for you guys working together on that. Waterdeep is definitely a big city, and there's going to be people trickling in here and there pretty much every day that you guys are here. It's, bustling. So there's always going to be some kind of injury, some kind of disease, some kind of sickness. These people come in.
Yeah.
I did want to take my own scene one of the evenings Diana, as you are asleep, you begin to fall into a dream. And you find yourself walking slowly through some foliage, running your hands through the shiny green, simple leaves of some type of fruit tree. And you make a bend and you quickly look down and you can see the stone walkway that begins to look familiar to you. And you look ahead and you can hear the trickling water of a fountain not too far away from you, ahead of you. Bushes and shrubs kind of align this pathway, and you look behind you and to the left and you can see open gateway that seems to just disappear in some kind of bright light beyond. Then you hear a rustle in one of the trees nearby, and you see your old friend Selim standing there with a few pieces of fruit in his hand. Ah, Diana, there you are.
Hey, Celine.
Hello. I've heard you. You were looking for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, hello. I kind of... You know how I asked to come up here, like, whenever, like... Oh, yeah, the rod, right, okay. Do I have the rod with me?
You do not.
Ah, crap.
Actually, you don't really have anything with you. You're just kind of like standing there in your priestly garments.
Alrighty. Diana's kind of like patting around, realizes she doesn't have any of her equipment besides like her priestly like clothes.
Selim
like,
immediately
"Crap."
interrupts you and don't fret, you don't need it.
I don't?
No. You don't need it.
Oh.
Here. And he tosses you an orange. It lands in the palm of your hand. Utter perfection. Not a bruise on it. It's a perfect looking piece of fruit.
Thank you. How will I get here though? Like, the last time I was here, you mentioned that it would be important to come back one day, like, you know, kind of relating to Molfin and just everything like that. How will I just... I thought that I thought that I might need like a spell or something. I don't know. I thought that I would...
Diana, the path will be made for you. All you have to do is believe. You do believe that he can be saved, don't you?
Absolutely.
Then that's all you need. Hold on to that belief.
Always.
He's kind of...
You've saved me countless times.
Yeah, he's kind of going about, like, as you're talking to him, he's just like, kind of like tending the garden area here. Just nonchalantly, like, he's talking to you, but he's not necessarily, like, looking at you. He's just going through and tending the garden. And then he looks back towards you. And almost looks at you, looks down towards the pathway, then looks back at you and says, "There's a lot of darkness we cannot yet see. There's a shadow been hidden hard to define. Something draws near. Something wicked. Something dangerous.
Is it? Do you have any hints of what it could be, or just it couldn't be like Lolth or Asmodeus or anything like that, could
It could be. Could also be deeper than that. I've had a bad feeling for quite some time, but it seems that the dark shroud of the mist keeps continuing to get closer and closer, and I don't think it will stop with your plane of existence. I think it threatens much more. Even this very garden.
Okay.
I feel as if the quest that you are about to partake, possibly the only chance that we have.
This couldn't have anything to do with the particular artifacts that Molfen.
How do you feel about it?
About his artifacts, or about news that there's a great dark cloud descending upon all of our planes?
I believe that under the shroud that one wears, there is purity left. What do you believe in his intentions?
I believe that Molfen is the person that he was when he first put on the shroud. He was someone who was protective of his family, good at his core, if a little bit chaotic, but very intelligent and smart and capable of so much kindness. And I think that when it was just the shroud, it kind of redirected that intelligence into more, I don't know. It just became, it's hard to describe, but I just believe that with each adding artifact, it sort of took a little bit more away of the core of who he is. And I think that, we can't erase everything that he's done, like that's part of his path, his journey. I wouldn't want to completely undo the person that he's become, but I believe that he still has much more to do and to develop into. And I think that, I don't know, this is all part of his journey. I kind of lost my train of thought and my point, but I think my point was that I still believe in him, and I wouldn't change him for the world, but I also will protect him from himself if I have to. Yeah.
I believe in him because you believe in him. And I believe in him also because I believe that one day he will be freed from those things that confine him and have turned him into what he is now. Remember, Diana, our job, our role, is to stop suffering. even if we have to take it upon ourselves. I believe he's suffering. And we have the opportunity, we have the ability to help him. No matter what. Because I think somewhere along the line, whatever this dark shroud creeping in on all the planes of existence right now, I believe it will take you. I believe it will take him. It will take your friends Callista, Vix, Silver, Ashlyn, Lachlan. Take you all.
I know that when the time comes, we'll be ready.
I know. I'll be right there with you. And at that, Diana, as you're nodding your head, you start feeling yourself nodding your head, and you're like, it's like when you're sleeping and you start feeling your pillow, and you start to wake up. And as you awaken, there is something in your hand. And you look down, and it's your tuning fork. And when you look at it, there's engravings in it now, some kind of writing along it. Looks like some kind of divine imprint along the side. And it still has a little bit of a warmth to it in your hand.
Cool. Cool. All right. Well. Great. There's a dark cloud. Diana makes the conscious decision to not share that particular piece of information with the entire party yet.
Okay.
She'll probably at some point find a conversation with Callista in the near future. But yeah, she will reserve that information for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. We can skip ahead to your travel back.
Yeah.
Silver Moon. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good to you guys.
At some point, one random day, what Molfen would try to find the largest object. Like, is there any construction debris or anything around the house still?
Oh, plenty. You guys have had like construction at your house since you bought it. It's...
Molfen is going to find the largest thing he can find. Something about his size.
Okay. Like there's like a piece of lumber or something like that?
Piece of lumber, a barrel.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can
a
find...
wheelbarrow.
Yeah, you can find a barrel.
Something.
Yeah.
And basically you're just going to sort of lay it on its side, roll it over towards wherever I can find Vix. Give it a nice good push at him. And as it gets about, 4 or 5 feet away from him, cast True Polymorph to turn it into a barrel-sized chicken.
Oh, God.
I'm casting Bigby's hand at 9th level and punching the chicken.
all you guys just see this massive cloud of feathers go.
9th level Bigby's
You know what's crazy is I was literally thinking we're gonna name the chicken Bigby.
Oh,
Is the
that
chicken
hurt.
still alive?
No, what happened was when Bigsby punched it, you saw feathers, and then the rest of the chicken went.
Yeah, that's 12d8.
Into the horizon. It's gone.
Oh,
Bigby.
And Molfen is probably on the ground, laughing hysterically.
Was Spoon there?
Oh, please tell me
That's
that.
the question.
I will say there is a 30% chance that Spoon witnessed this horrendous horror. Let's see.
And I just want you to know.
I rolled a
Jamie,
20.
coalition-
Spoon was there.
Yeah!
Spoon runs away in the opposite direction.
Yes.
Victory!
Immediately scampers his way into the hen house. Has disappeared.
Oh my word.
9th level.
What were you saying, Zos?
I have an idea. Never mind.
Okay.
Can we say that I control the narrative? No, wait. I mean, you control the narrative, but I was like, can I sponsor ideas about the narrative of the chickens?
Absolutely. Go ahead. This is a yes and game, Zos. Take it away.
I just personally believe Spoon is first intimidated, and then Spoon begins to formulate a plan. The hen house is a great place
I
to
think-
assemble
Yes. And I
converse.
think the rest of the chickens would rally behind Spoon.
Okay,
In
well
my
now you
opinion,
have to
yes.
add chickens to the list.
and. Oh no!
Spoon is actually the big bad evil
Like
guy.
that?
The big
Shadow,
bad.
let's go
That's it.
in.
That's the shadow that is consuming all the plains. Is Spoon.
It's from within the dumpster fire ranch.
It's within it's within your farm that you guys have established.
Spoon makes a deal with the chicken named Asmodeus for. There's a chicken named Asmodeus, and
I love that we actually added Spoon and the chicken revolution to the list.
Oh my
That's
God.
The
good.
chicken revolution is very small, I will say. I do have a list of which chickens will be involved.
Oh dear God.
I think I got my episode title for tonight: A Chicken Named Spoon. That's, So, how are you guys getting to Silvery Moon? What's the?
Teleportation circle.
You can use a teleportation circle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You want me to do it? Or you want to do it?
Oh, actually, let me see if I can't remember if that one. I don't think that is a ritual spell, is it? Let me check.
I think it is.
No, no. Teleport is not. Give me what level is teleportation circle?
I have teleport.
4th or 5th?
Fourth or fifth, I believe.
Oh yeah, you only had teleportation circle when you were a dragon, Vix.
Yeah, but
I had teleport when I was I did have teleportation circle. I have
Yeah.
teleport now though. I took it.
Okay.
That's
one of the spells.
Spell book.
I considered it. I learned
Take
that
us via
spell.
trees to outside the city. If
Okay,
you-
yeah, it's a 5th level, so Molfen will just prepare that in the morning, and Molfen can cast it.
Okay.
Because now that Vix got us in there, Molfen took the time to, thanks to everyone's, pantomiming and
Right, the
Yeah.
took the
distraction.
time to study the circle.
All right. So with the incantations cast and Molfen beginning to construct, you would kind of chalk this circle out probably within a floor, within your house or outside, or what would your?
Probably do it outside somewhere.
Okay. You construct your circle outside. Everyone steps within at the last moment as these incantations are said, and these runes can begin to glow from carving it into the ground. And you guys all have that same weightless feeling. As in a split second, you find yourself in the Vault of Sages once again in Silvery Moon, and you hear that familiar voice as a gentleman falls out of a chair over on the other side. Yeah,
Dear Lord, not again.
You should
Hello.
probably get a chair that has like a back.
Sorry, sir.
It's you again. Why do you keep What do you guys really need to get out of here. Why do you keep on jumping into this establishment through the circle?
Thank you.
It's the easiest way to the city.
It is. I know. I'm aware. You really should be going.
Well, we planned on it. We just wanted to. This is how we get here, so we leave.
Well, yes. Please.
Obviously, we
Yeah.
have permission to utilize this circle, and we would not know it. Now be quiet and we'll leave.
Well, okay. There was no need for that, but here we go. Let's open the door. Let's get you guys out of here.
Nice to see you again.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Be careful, I guess.
He likes us. He likes us. He likes us.
Yeah.
And you guys continue to walk through the Vault of Sages, seeing that there's a lot of rooms and establishments, hallways that lead off of these chambers that seem to be filled with, from floor to ceiling, with books and bookshelves and individuals studying.
The entire time, Molfin's head's on a swivel looking for those two Harpers. Throughout everywhere Molfin goes, just constant searching.
Okay, sure.
Diana's head is on a swivel for a Temple of Ilmater here.
Okay.
If we happen to find one.
Okay, sure.
Oh, that's right.
Sure, yeah.
No.
Oh, we got to deal with Romeo while we're here.
I think his name was Ramen?
Romero.
Romero.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've heard of Romero. Quite the zombie expert, if I recall.
I think this is the map of Silvery Moon. Yeah, there it is.
Might be a different Romero.
I'm certain, same individual. I mean, how many Romeros could there be?
I don't know.
Pretty uncommon name.
Yeah.
Romero.
So you guys.
But he wears those ridiculous, oversized, black-framed glasses.
Maybe he's gonna be cute.
All right, so you guys are back on the streets of Silvery Moon. Are you guys headed directly back to Silver's father's establishment?
Unless Diana says that she would like to see a temple of Ilmater, yes.
Yes, I'm sorry not to constantly be dragging us into temples all the time. I just
Would I know of where that temple would be?
Yes, there is a temple for Ilmater. It is not a very big temple. It is located right about in this area. I would say this probably structure right here. This is the area where a lot of the... It's not only like the noble side of town, but it's also like where most of the temples are located. Like they put them over here on this side of the city to kind of separate them from residential districts and things of that nature. So there is a small temple here. It's nothing really in comparison to some of the larger temples here, but there definitely is one.
Well, I'll take us by there first, since we're going to be crossing the Moon Bridge. Go over there.
Diana, you could heal everybody here as well and show up Romero in their own establishment.
I look at Vix and I'm like, that is a great idea, but it would be kind of a dick move. So I'm not.
I'll do it.
No, I don't think any of it. We're just here to. You see, here's my thing. I want to see Romero. I don't know. Want Romero to see me? I kind of am just curious as to who my competition is, I guess. But should I don't know if I want to. You're my campaign manager. What do you think? Should we spy or should we
I
just...
think you should talk to Romero.
Oh,
Gauge
God.
their
Okay.
personality in a conversation. And if they're a jerk, we heal everybody in their temple. Right in front of them.
Oh, 20
If you
sides to
condescend
every
to
story
me.
is rating us with a party of 12. Thank you, 20
Hey.
sides. We appreciate you guys. Welcome to the show.
All right, so then.
Molfin's going to look
we're gonna
over
go-
at Diana real quick.
Yeah.
Are
Yes.
you doing this as yourself or as someone else?
Well, if we end up healing everybody, she should probably be herself.
Which I could drop
yes, that part.
concentration on it, but if she wants to go in and gauge the thing without tipping her hand, I could cast Seeming.
You could go into somebody else. Talk to him, gauge the conversation, leave, and go back in as yourself. And it's like nothing happened.
Okay, so wonderful suggestions. I think I will enter as myself because maybe I'm getting a little bit too serious about this. I mean, this is just an election in a church for a church position. I don't need to put on a disguise to spy on an enemy. It's just we have to be friendly. These are our church people. We have to.
Yeah, well, I mean, also based on everything that's happened, I think you have it in the bag.
I don't want to be overconfident, but maybe. I will, all right, so we'll go in there. We'll just introduce ourselves to Romero, get a judge of his character, and then leave. Right?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, great. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to the Temple of Elmater then?
Yeah.
Muffin's gonna wander off.
Muffin wanders off. Are you still under Seeming?
Nope, I haven't cast it this morning.
Okay. You're going as yourself?
And
You can
Muffin's
come
not
on
gonna
the holy
Muffin's
ground,
not
you
gonna
know.
walk into the temple as himself, as he thinks that would probably put a damper on Diana's visit.
Oh,
Okay.
Diana don't care.
So
Diana's like, yes, this is my little hobgoblin. What about it?
So when you get to the Temple of Elmater here in Silvery Moon, it seems
so
to
gum.
it seems to be a little bit different than the kind of hospital. This
Mhm.
seems like a place for I guess it's more kind of like an old folks home sort of deal.
Oh.
Is it, you're getting the vibes that that's kind of what this temple is built for here, as it seems
my
to
God,
fit
okay.
now they will bring people in and heal the sick and things like that here too, but this city isn't quite as big as Waterdeep, so it probably doesn't need as big of a space for that. So there tends to be a lot more of the elderly here, and it seems like they're taking care of them in their later years. So that's what you get a vibe of as you walk into like the main entryway for your area of this temple. You can see there are a lot of priests and people working at this place and working with some of these elderly and moving them about. And
See, Romero. Is Vix with me?
Yeah, I'm your campaign manager, so
Okay, good. See, he has to be a great person. Who else, takes care of old people? That's so sweet.
I've seen people who are very mean to old people, even though they're taking care of them.
They're going to hell. And anyways, you're trying to find somebody in the temple, and I guess just walk up to the first person that I see and ask them,
oh,
Hi,
wait, hello there. Welcome
hi.
to the Temple of St. Villa. It's so nice to meet you.
hi, I'm happy to be in the
Wait,
Temple of St.
you
Villa.
look familiar to me for some reason. Why is that?
Do I?
Yes, you wear the garbs of Elmater. It's just you look familiar. I'm not sure what who are you?
Diana Lionheart. You do that whole
The
thing.
Diana,
That
Diana
whole thing.
Lionheart? Are you serious?
It's not like yeah, that's me. Hey, this is Vix.
Hi, I'm
yeah.
her campaign manager.
He's the campaign manager.
Campaign manager. Oh,
No, he's
what's that?
We're on a
friend.
pilgrimage. I think that's what they call it.
Pilgrimage.
yeah, sure.
We're traveling to all the temples.
No, we're not.
We're traveling to some of the
Well, we're
temples.
so glad that you are here. How can I help you? How can I make you comfortable?
Oh, we were looking for a Ramiro.
Oh, Romero.
Romero.
Absolutely. Let me double check and see if he is available.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Sure.
The individual disappears for a moment, then reappears. Oh, Diana, great news! Romero has just finished an in-depth prayer to Ilmater. He's available to see you now.
Oh, lovely.
Yes,
Great.
yes, yes.
Okay, sure. We'll just
All right.
follow you
Well,
then.
Takes you back to another room. Knocks at the door. Romero, Diana Lionheart is here. Hey, thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate that, guys. And opens the door, and you immediately walk in, and sitting in an area, it's strange. There's not really a desk in this place. It's kind of like a little shrine set up in the corner, and there is an individual like kneeling down by the shrine in priestly garments and robes and very, very humble looking furs. And sometimes like you'll know that some of the higher ups will wear, they're like kind of like, you know, like graduation cords. They're kind of like rope that just like dangles down, but they're not as fancy as like, it's just like kind of like knotted rope that sometimes they wear around their necks. Very humble looking attire. But this individual has kind of like a very, very dark bowl cut on top of their head. And as they spin around, you do notice that they do indeed, in fact, Matthew called this out before, like, I had this idea in my head of what this person looked like, and Matthew, the very thick, dark glasses that are really round, almost Harry Potter-esque, but they're very thick, and the eyes are, like, you can tell, like, this person probably is very, very hard of being able to see, because they're very thick lenses, so whenever he looks at you, it's like, his eyes are gigantic. That's what I look like when I wear my glasses anyway, so... So he kind of spins around and looks at you. Diana Lionheart. I have heard much about you.
Thank you. I heard about you. Hello.
Thank you, Ilmater, for sending her to us so we could have this opportunity to meet.
I look down at Vix and I'm kind of just like...
And he like, he prays mid-conversation and then he comes out of it and then looks back at you.
Yes, thank you, Ilmater. The guy up there.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diana.
Okay. And
you are? He looks down.
Hello, I am Vix.
Nice to meet you, Vix.
It's nice to meet you too.
I am Romero.
Hello, Romero.
Hi. I just wanted to pop in and, since we were in the city, and introduce myself. I'm Diana. I believe we're both, running in the election for the sainthood in, Waterdeep, so... Wanted to say hello. Hold my hand out to shake his hand.
He shakes your hand. Oh,
Okay, cool.
It is great that you came to visit. I'm so excited about this election.
Yeah, it's really cool and fun. Stuff, yeah. Cool. So that was kind of all that I had planned to do, was just to say hi and to introduce myself, and say good luck. Yeah.
Oh, well, do you mind if I pray for you now? I will. And he grabs your hand and he begins to pray immediately. He looks up. He's like, "Oh, great Father Ilmater, thank you for bringing this opportunity to us to meet. Diana is such a great hero of the North. We do appreciate her great sacrifices to stop the suffering of many. Continue to follow and help her. Guide her in all of your goodness. Be with her, Ilmater. And be with her companion, Vix, as they travel together. Be a light in the darkness ahead. Ease their pain and suffering." And then he grips your hand very tightly throughout this whole thing. And then you feel his hand like loosen up, and then he just stands there and kind of stares at you both, and his eyes start to blink a couple times. Blink, blink, blink. In his large glasses.
While he was doing that prayer, you said there was a shrine, right?
Oh dear God, if you
Yeah,
still can't.
there's a shrine in the corner. Yep.
Does the shrine have like one central giant candle, or is it just like a couple candles?
There's a few candles on it. Yeah.
Okay, I want to go take. I know I said I don't steal candles from a holy place, but I want this guy. I just got it. So
He'll
I
find
go up to
more.
his shrine. I like clear out like an area. I take the candles, and then I will snap and try to like trick him into thinking this was a blessing from Ilmater. And I'll put the ball with the blue flame onto the shrine.
Okay.
And then I will scurry back to beside Diana, all in front of her eyes.
Okay. He is okay. So when he opens his eyes, he's still looking at you guys. He has no idea any of this is taking place.
I can roll a stealth check if you need me to.
You don't have to. He was too busy
Alright.
with his prayer. He had no idea.
Okay.
I don't know what to do. I look at Vix and
There's a strange
I-
blue
I-
glow about the room now.
The chaos of this group.
I'm chaotic neutral.
I go through all of my languages to try to find one that Vix and I have in common. So I talk to him in Giant, I talk to him in Elven, I talk to him in oh god, what else? I think Celestial, I talk to him in Infernal.
Okay, so which
None.
one you're trying first? You're trying Giant first?
I'll try
Ooh.
Giant first.
Okay,
Then I'll be like, Vix, what did you just do?
and then you try Elven?
And then I try Elven.
Okay,
Vix,
what
did
it-
you just do? Just again and again.
What do you mean what he just do?
He just, he has a twitch of making sure that it's nothing serious.
I was just shifting. My feet kind of hurt from walking so much,
There's
Ready to go
strange.
sit down?
There's a strange new light in here.
You're right. It
I
happened.
look at Vix.
Like you were
Oh,
doing
no.
your blessing, and then all of a sudden this blue light appeared.
There's smoke. The smell of smoke, like some candles went out or something. You smell that?
I look at Vix and I'm like, Vix, we have to get back to Callista
Yeah.
soon, who, has, so,
He turns around.
rules.
What is this? A
Are
bright.
you okay?
There is something upon the altar. What is it?
Oh,
Do you see this?
I see it.
Vix.
Is this a sign?
It must be.
Diana pinches Vix very, very hard.
Okay, we gotta go. Have fun with your blessing.
Diana,
Man.
screw it, we're dragging him out. Dragging him out by the ear.
Okay, you drag
Of the temple.
You drag.
What? And once they're out of the temple, Diana's like, what would Callista have said?
She would have been proud of me.
No! Not at all.
Kristy's proud of you, Jamie.
I
You
didn't do
cannot-
anything wrong. I instilled him with more confidence in his god.
Vix, false confidence is not good. You can't fake a sign. That's the difference between a religion and a cult, okay? We don't fake signs, all right? We
Wait, are you
take
saying you're in a
what we get.
cult?
I'm saying I'm in a... No, I'm in a religion, okay? A cult and a religion are two completely different things, okay? And I'm saying that in a religion, you take what you're given, the signs that you receive are genuine, and then there's a cult where everything is like a manipulation. It's like the smoke and mirrors type thing, okay? We can't do smoke and mirrors onto religious people. It's not fair.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure nothing big. It was just a harmless prank that's not gonna go anywhere.
As Vix
Vix.
says that, You hear shouting behind you,
Oh god.
and you see Romero holding this glass, blue glowing, basically decanter, as he comes out, and he looks as if he is frantic. He looks as if sweating is pouring on. He's sweating profusely. His hair isn't a perfect bowl cut anymore. Some of it's like sticking up, calyx and stuff everywhere. And he's holding this thing. Hey, you, and he rushes over, back to you, Vix. This light is false. This is no blessing. This light is false. This light is false. You must take it back.
What?
Take this. This is no blessing. And you can see one of his pieces of his glasses are cracked and shattered on one side. Take it from me. And he hands it to you, and he like just lets it go, and he starts rushing.
love lights, so I'll take it.
He starts rushing back to the temple and just kind of glances over his shoulder one last time and goes right back into the temple.
I think Ilmater probably doesn't like me anymore.
Invader. You know, I
That's
really
the
want to say that, but I'm gonna be real with you. Invader is kind of funny sometimes, so I don't know. I don't know. But don't do that again.
Well, this fire came back to me. Obviously, it's meant to be.
Yes, it is. But what is the? What? Why did he bring it back? It's like, I'm not even gonna. You know
It cracked his glasses. You know, we could have healed his blindness. Hold on a second. We could have helped him. Oh well, let's go get the armor.
So good. So good. So, Molfin,
Let's go get him.
walking around by yourself, you don't see any, like, you don't see those two individuals in this, basically this time frame as of right now.
Close is following, but not. Probably he's trying to stealth.
Okay. All right. You can make a stealth check if you'd like.
Sure.
Silver, did you go on your own to the house to pick up the armor?
No, I was probably waiting for Vix and Diana so they don't get lost.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, you were probably outside and you witnessed that little interaction.
Silver, I did nothing wrong. I just pulled a meaningless prank.
And I'm sure it was really funny. I'm sad I missed it.
I have never done anything wrong ever in my life. I know this, and I love you.
I see. So, like, I just took the candles off of the guy's altar while he was praying, replaced them with my fire ball thing, and told him it was a blessing from the gods.
Yeah, it sounds like a really funny joke to me.
All right, as long as you approve. Let's go get this armor.
Yeah, and I'll lead them back to my house.
Sure.
Or to the shop.
And as you guys walk in, your father is ecstatic that you guys have returned after several days. But I mean, he's like, perfect timing. I just pulled the finishing touches. It turned out great. I even got the adornments attached to stud it, so it's all set to go. So he goes back and he pulls out the 2 sets of magical studded leather made from Kraken-hide.
Oh yeah.
Which you guys
This
have.
is some of your best work, Father.
And I discovered it's even better than I anticipated.
What?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
How?
So, it's very situational. I'm going to be honest. It's very situational, but let's say you're in a situation where you are submerged or under the water, and you have many enemies around you. There is a way that you can create a cloud of dark ink around you.
I love it.
with this
I love
particular.
it so much.
That is great. I'm sure.
I had no idea it would do that.
Callista-
It was just a new
I'm
recent
sure-
discovery. It's so
Yes.
fascinating.
It's wonderful.
That's brilliant, Michael. Brilliant.
That.
Out of character. That's just, I love that.
So basically, what this is it's magical studded leather +2. Okay, so that was the base,
Mhm.
the base plus that we said we were going to add to it. And I believe it was lightning resist, and it also has that situational property where that if you are underwater in an underwater combat situation, once per day, you can do the ink cloud effect, where it basically makes everything around you within like 30 feet is blind
Oh my
and
God.
cannot see.
That's brilliant.
Awesome.
Is that a custom item on D&D
I-
Beyond, or
It will be.
Custom-
I have not finished the
Okay.
the item, but once I do, I will get it to you guys so you guys can add it to your
Solid.
sheets. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if I cast Control Water, I can submerge you two in a crowd of enemies, and then you can use that ability.
What would happen when the ink left the water? It just like splatter on the ground.
What would be really
Yeah, I
cool is
wouldn't-
does anybody have wall of water? Because then
Yes.
you could be in the wall of water, use that, and it makes it block vision too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea. Yeah.
Fun with this. Okay.
Mhm.
very situational, but like
Yep.
you can be pretty creative with it if you
Mhm.
think about it. This high level with the druid
Mhm. Oh yeah.
water, that's all we need? Okay.
You could be a water elemental. I could jump inside of your water elemental. I could ink
Oh my god.
in your water
The
elemental.
ink,
and then
the ink elemental.
Yeah.
There you go.
we develop a new elemental.
Oh my god, yes.
If I
I
throw
love
a
it.
fire with the water elemental, would it then be an ice elemental?
An inked ice elemental?
Inked ice elemental. There you go.
I'm down.
But yeah, your father seems to be super excited about this silver as he stumbled upon this discovery. And you guys can see how he stumbled upon this discovery because there's a couple articles of clothing that have ink stained all over them in the corner.
I'm just now realizing I have to do art again.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay, art. I still have to do silver and Vix anyway, eventually.
All right.
By the way, my stealth was not great. It was a 17.
17. Okay.
I think his passive
Yeah.
beats that.
Hmm.
Wolfen knows she's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other people moving about around town that have no idea you're there. So
Good.
you're kind of blending in the crowd a little bit. So
I'm not gonna follow him for too long. I just want to see, like, just out of a hunch, if he's gonna try and go back to the Harpers.
okay. Wolfen, you
'Cause
are
he was pretty adamant last time.
you are aware that she's there. Where are you going exactly? As the rest of the group seems to have gone back to. supply.
Molfen would probably have started heading that direction.
Okay.
Like, and basically, because the markets from where you texted, you sort of have to head sort of that direction to get towards like the main street, heading back down into the open market area.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
Molfen would start heading that way 100% with that intention.
Okay.
Then realizing, oh, I got a tail. Just go to hit that main street and then immediately hard left and just start wandering the market.
Okay. Yeah. It's a
Start looking for any sort of random, just like random knickknacks, curios.
Oh, it's extensive
junk.
here. Yeah, you can find whatever kind of random junk your cat could imagine here. The market is big here. There's a lot of commerce that happens here in this city, and they also a lot of buying and selling of educational items to books. It's kind of like whenever you go to school and you then sell your used books to try to get money to buy your new books. You get a lot of that here too, because like I said,
Yep.
Silvery Moon's a college town, so there's a lot of bards and minstrels that play on the corners and stuff, and you hear a lot of tales and things of that nature. So a lot of stuff going on
House
here.
parties.
House parties. Yeah,
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
It's like,
that's it. Yeah, Wonderwall.
yeah, Wonderwall. I know.
Is there like a little used instrument stand?
Yeah, there is.
Mulvin's gonna pick up like 3 or 4 used like guitar or harp type instruments.
But yeah, there's a few lutes and harps and things of that nature there. Yeah.
Yeah, pick up like 3 or 4.
Okay. Sure. I don't know the exact cost of those offhand, but I can get those to you. It doesn't really matter to you guys. You guys are filthy rich, so used
Before
instruments cost a lot.
Yeah, before I leave Muffin alone, seeing him bank left, I'm like, okay, I'll walk past him. I am leaving though, but she'll say, whatever you're doing, don't get caught. And don't hurt innocent people. I mean that, Muffin. If I find out there's casualties to whatever you're planning, there's gonna be a problem. Promise me.
Muffin give a little bow. You have my word. No casualties.
Are you looking for Crowan?
I doubt Crowan is here. I was more
He
looking.
might be now that he's aware of your presence here.
This is true. Only one way to
Are
be
you
sure.
sure you don't want backup if you come across him? You know what? For my peace of mind, can you do me a favor?
I can try.
Can you telepathic bond with me? And if things go wrong, you let me know. If Crowan's there, let me know.
And Morphin will cast a spell. Because Morphin actually has it prepared for once.
Oh, lovely!
So it's not going to take 10 minutes to do it.
Awesome.
Right. So are you casting it right there in the middle of the market as you're playing
Yep.
buying musical instruments?
Counter spell. No, I'm just kidding.
Vix is haunting
Morphin also
your
has
dreams.
Morphin also has animate objects prepared.
Oh, God.
Oh boy.
And now has some instruments.
He just bought himself an army of musical instruments.
Imagine a drum walking down, beating itself.
Have you ever seen the things that are like a combination, like it's strapped to you? It's a big snare drum, the harmonica.
Oh,
the-
yeah.
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
bad.
The
One-man
little,
band.
yeah, the little
Yeah.
symbol on the
Yes.
side.
Yeah.
So good. Awesome.
Often.
I'm going back to Silver's house.
Okay.
I thought we'd talked about this.
I'm shopping. I'm buying instruments. It's technically
Just
accurate.
Tell me your plans. Even if I don't agree with them, just tell me so I know what's going on. So if
really
you go
don't
off on
have
your
one.
own and somehow things go wrong and we're not there to back you up or help you out or get you out of a mess,
Then run. But always a contingency, my dear.
then
Yeah.
use it.
I
Stop
did. I
leaving us
casted it
behind.
I cast the spell a few days ago.
Not the spell. I mean, you know what I mean.
No, my intent was merely to make sure they weren't following us. I really don't have a plan.
Okay, but still keep an eye out for Crowan because he might be here.
Well, I'd like to think he's not that stupid, but if he is, even I
We
am
deal
mentally
with
linked
stupid
to
a lot.
this
It
tower.
can't. Yeah. You never know. Knowing our luck. Your luck.
Could always send him a message.
Don't. Just keep an eye out for him.
I will keep 2.
Okay.
One of mine and one of someone else's.
Okay, I just walk away.
Molfin, as you're purchasing your musical instruments, you take a glance over your shoulder. You're looking around, still being perceptive, openly perceptive about the people that are around you. Trying to get a sense of that familiar feeling you had last time you were here, that you were being watched, but it never comes back to you. You continue to look over your shoulder. You don't recognize those two, the male elf or the male human that you ran into and talked to before. Peering through the crowds, the market, nothing seems to be apparent. No sign of any crowing. It's nothing.
Strange, almost worse. No yellow and gold either.
Now, when it comes to yellow and gold, you see yellow and gold like sprinkled. I mean, it's not like you'll.
No, I'm looking specifically for that Lord's Alliance.
Yeah, you do see some members of the Lord's Alliance. They're sprinkled here and there, as many of them will be in some of these Lord's Alliance cities, which Silvery Moon is a part of. But it's kind of like you guys, the adventurers. You know, when you see somebody wearing Lord's Alliance garb, most of them have been specially recruited for special tasks. None of them seem to take a peculiar, like you see them from a distance. None of them seem to take like an immediate eye to you.
Interesting.
But there's not a lot of them. It's not like you're seeing like a ton of these individuals. And most of them are not like within 20 feet, 30 feet of you at any given time. We're in the marketplace. It's a huge crowd.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Malvin does the same, eventually you'll start heading over towards the general area of Silver's father's place.
Okay.
But still stopping probably about a block. Like finding one of the main, whatever the main street was we walked down the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And stop about a block and a half away.
Okay.
Just find a little spot to sit down and rest, waiting for everyone.
Okay.
And just send a mental message to Callista, just sitting down about a block and a half away. Just assumed if things were to happen, would probably be best not in Silver's father's house.
You're muted.
You're muted in Discord. There you go.
You have to remember to turn your brain on.
Sorry. I was speaking out loud and it didn't go mentally. Sorry.
Awesome.
I said probably a good idea. Did you notice anyone tailing you today?
No, I didn't see a single Harper. I did see some members of the Lord's Alliance, but nothing seemed to be paying any mind.
You haven't seen a single Harper.
Not a one.
I wonder if you spooked them and they moved house.
Not sure. I'm not going to go poking the bee's nest, so to speak. Not
You can't see me, but I have a surprised look on my face.
Unfortunately, it appears at least a portion of my abilities are neutered in this city.
That's true. Wow.
There are certain things that would work around that, as I doubt their protections were designed for artifacts such as these, but that sort of plays into their hand a bit more than I care to.
Good. Should be out soon.
Take your time. We'll have quite the show going out here.
I go get my armor.
Okay. And you guys head in to get your armor. Molfin, as you're sitting outside, there is a moment where you're sitting there and you're looking down towards the path, the roadway ahead of you. And it's kind of like when you're sitting there and then all of a sudden there's a shadow that passes overhead. It kind of blocks out the sun for a second. Like as if something moved ahead of you, like above you. And you glance up, and way up in the sky, there's something up there. something flying.
Oh no.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Kindred Lists.